What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another dreadlock review video. Today I will be reviewing someone you all voted for. Last week I asked you guys who you wanted to see. You had the choice between Willow Smith, J. Cole, Jean-Michel Basquiat, and Daniel Caesar. And most of you chose Willow Smith. So today's dreadlock review is going to be on Willow Smith. Okay, so Willow Smith was born in 2000. She's the daughter of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, the little sister of Jaden Smith. Or is she the bigger sister? I think Jaden is older. So she's 19 years old. She's a singer, a songwriter, an actress. What else? A dancer. She's a creative human. But she also has dreadlocks, and that's why today we are reviewing her hair. Let's start in 2013. This is the first picture that I want to show you guys, because in this picture Jaden had started his locks, but Willow still had short hair, short curls, bleached blonde hair, and this is kind of the starting point where she started her locks. So I did a review on Jaden Smith. If you want to see that, there will be an info card up on the screen right now that you can click on. This was in 2014. So you can see that Jaden's locks have grown a little bit, and he's kind of free-forming his way through dreadlocks. And here you can see that Willow's hair is growing a little. The bleached blonde hair has kind of grown out, and you can see her curl pattern here. She has these small curls, and this looked like the start of her dreadlock journey, but not yet, because in the next picture you see she shaved her head again, bleached it again, but that same year she is starting dreadlocks, because in this picture you can start to see some kind of baby locks starting to grow. I think my hair and her hair are quite similar. Maybe her hair is a bit more nappy than mine is, but if you don't comb out your hair and you leave it like that, after a few weeks you're gonna start to see little baby dreadlocks form, and you can see them. Most of the hair is still curly and loose hair, some blonde in the hair as well, but you can start to see those baby locks taking shape. In 2015, this is a picture for a magazine. You can see that she really started her locks, because most of her hair that you can see here is starting to form into these dreadlocks. Another picture of 2015 on ID magazine shows that although her locks are very short, she's already styling her hair for these photo shoots and stuff. So if you have like baby dreadlocks, you just started your locks and they're still pretty short, you should look up what her hair was like back then, because she has a lot of creative ways on tying her hair back or creating some kind of creative hairstyle with short locks. A lot of people that have short locks want to kind of conceal the fact that their locks are not fully formed yet. So Willow is an excellent inspiration to look at if you're wanting to look at different styles. Again, in 2015, her hair is starting to grow and mature, but here you can see that she probably used that toothbrush to comb down her baby hairs, and she looks like she's free-forming, but because she is doing all these crazy hairstyles, I think she started maintaining her locks, especially from what I see now in 2019. In 2016, she gets faux braids. I think she got those yarn braids where you get a special kind of yarn and then twist it around your own locks. In this case, you can also do it if you don't have locks. And then have longer locks. So again, if you have short locks, baby locks, and you're looking to bridge that period between the short, kind of awkward dreadlock stage and the fully matured ones, a lot of people go for something like this, and you can leave this in for a while. I believe it's like 4 to 6 weeks until you have to take it out, maybe even longer. I don't know. I once had like fake braids in my hair, and I had to take them out after 4 to 6 weeks. So I think that's how long you can leave these in. And this is also a great protective hairstyle because your hair is going to be concealed in the yarn, so nothing will like touch your hair won't dry out, stuff like that. A lot of people use protective hairstyles not only on their locks, also on their loose hair. But then she takes out the yarn locks and you can really see how quickly they are growing. In 1 year's time, they're already past her eyebrows, whereas before in 2015, they were still like sticking out. So here in 2016, they look really cool. She looks like a little lion. They are, I think, a bit more manicured here than what it looked like in 2015. Here you can still think, is she freeforming or manicuring, like really retwisting her dreadlocks? But here, I think it's kind of clear that she pulls them apart, maybe even retwists them, because they look very neat. Although they look a bit like a little lion, a little messy, they still look very neat, and they don't really resemble the traditional freeform dreadlocks. There are some ends that are still curly, but most of them have blunted. And I think that depends on your hair, because with me, I didn't really make an effort to blunt my tips, but because they were always resting on my clothes or my shoulders, they just start blunting by themselves. And for some people, like we saw in the previous video on Lisa Bonet, they stayed curly for a long time. 2017, when I saw this picture, I thought her hair had grown really quickly, because I don't really follow Willow Smith. So when I saw this picture, I thought, whoa, her hair grew really quickly, but these are not her own dreadlocks. Again, they are fake dreadlocks. I don't think these are the yarn dreadlocks, but I don't really have enough knowledge on how all of that works, fake dreadlocks. But this looks like a very manicured set of locks, and they're probably really long. So she kind of goes back and forth between putting extensions in her hair and just leaving her natural hair, because in that same year, 2017, you can see her natural locks. Her locks grow pretty quickly. I think this is year 3 for her that she had her dreadlocks, and she has the 4 pigtails, and you can see a few Congos maybe. Does this look like a Congo? Possibly. Some of them are a bit thinner than others, so this one is a bit of a thick one. Maybe 2 of them grew together. And she just keeps experimenting with looks and with fake dreadlocks, with extensions, with dyeing her hair. Yeah, it's really cool. So last picture of 2017, again, she has extensions in her locks and they are like waist length. So she got really long dreadlocks, and you can kind of see here that she has some parts. You can see some parts. So in order to install these extensions or these fake locks, you have to kind of make sections of the hair, because otherwise you can't really wrap the hair around the locks. So she really got some work done on the locks. They're definitely not free-formed. 2018, a picture of her with Will Smith. You can see she still has those extensions, and what I talked about earlier is that you can see the parts. You can see it a bit more clearly here. You can also see what kind of looks maybe like baby hair or breakage. I don't know. Now that I had that problem with my hair kind of starting to break because the locks were too heavy for the amount of hair, it kind of reminds me of that. This is kind of what I had as well, that you start to have these really short plucks of hair in the front around the edges, but I'm not sure. It just could be baby hair that's grown. 2018, she took out the extensions for a little while and she kind of pulled them all back, where it looks like she doesn't have locks. If you just look at the front, you can see the locks here, but if you just look at this, it doesn't look like she really has locks. What you can see here is that they have grown a lot. This is 4 years of her having dreadlocks, and I think they're still up in the back. I'm not sure, because here if we look at 2019, you can see that her locks have become quite long. So here again, you can see that those parts are really noticeable. So she's really having her hair retwisted. You can see that this is typically what it looks like after you just retwisted your locks. And I think she even dyed her locks. This is a black and white picture, but this looks like some type of dye in her hair or something else. And she has them up in a bun, so we can't really see how long they are, but in the next picture, this is 2019 on the right, and this is when she was 2 years old. So you can see she has little curls. On the right side, you can really appreciate how long her locks have gotten in 5 years, I believe. Yeah. So from really short, I think probably 2 inches of hair, she grew this in 5 years. Another picture in 2019. Here you can see her texture of the locks a bit more up and close. I think this is a braid. Sometimes some bits of hair don't lock up for a really long time. I had that as well. I'm not sure why that happens, but sometimes you have to kind of help that hair a little bit, and one way to do it is by braiding the hair, because if you just leave that long enough, it starts to form a dreadlock. Another picture of 2019, and here you can see her hair from the side, and you can see the parts, and she has it up in a bun, so her locks are becoming really long. And I haven't seen her put in any extensions or anything. I couldn't find any pictures of her doing that in 2019, so maybe she's finally at the stage where she feels comfortable with her own length and she has enough to work with to have creative hairstyles. What I do also see in this picture, which kind of worries me, is all of the bits of hair around the edges that are really short. Again, this is something that I had when I had dreadlocks. My hair started breaking at certain points, and I'm kind of worried that that's the same thing that's happening with her. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this because it broke, the hair broke off, or is this just her baby hair is growing? The last picture, 29, oh, this is not the last picture, I have 3 more to go. 2019 still, you can see her hair is up in a bun, and even though you retwist your hair, this is usually what most people, their hair looks like. Because when you retwist your hair, it looks all nice and cleaned up, and all the stray hairs are pulled back into the dreadlock. But for me, the exact same thing applied. After retwisting, I think a week after retwisting, my hair would kind of look like this. And you can see the individual locks in the back. Then she did some kind of photo shoot, and this is how they did her hair. So it's freshly retwisted, and they kind of tied some white string along her locks, put it up in a bun, a little bun in the front. And this is what I mean with the creative hairstyles that she always comes up with. It never looks boring on her. She never has the same hairstyle, and I think that is really cool. So the last picture, this is after a fresh retwist. She probably washed her hair and then got a retwist. Maybe I can even see an interlocked dreadlock here. And what's noticeable is that they are all really straight, and they all really fall like next to the face, instead of being kind of like here, sticking out a little bit in the back. After you wash your hair, your locks are they hang down really well, and they look very neat, and after a while you kind of start having that frizzy look again. And I can see some twisted locks, so she probably combined a lock or two, and here I can see that braid still. So maybe she is combining dreadlocks to make them look thicker, or maybe she's combining dreadlocks because her hair is starting to break. I'm not sure, but Willow Smith has awesome dreadlocks. I hope she doesn't cut them like her brother did, because they look really good on her. Alright everyone, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I know a lot of you watching are not subscribed to this channel. If you want to see my next video on J. Cole, make sure you subscribe and turn on the post notifications. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.